Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to the Black Quarterback Forum, Black Quarterbacks in Effect. Me, Al Boogie, and my man Smeez. So,
What up, people?
yeah, what's going on? It's regular season time now. We've been playing around, practicing, but the first 3 weeks leading up to the season, the preseason. So we done got all the preseason stuff out of the way. Everybody know who's going to be starting. So we're going to go over a couple of things as usual. We always, give a disclaimer that we watching the whole NFL, not just teams with black quarterbacks. So we focus on the black quarterbacks, talk about their playing performance, and how can you not be a fan and look forward to some of the games they got going on this weekend? Okay, just gonna throw it out there like the Bills at the Jets. How can you not be looking forward to that as a fan, right? So we are fans too, but like I said, focus on the black quarterbacks. So we're gonna talk about like Super Bowls and number of quarterbacks that have actually played in the Super Bowl. So people have some realistic expectations for the season. We're gonna get into who we're gonna pick, division winners, and the whole nine, just like everybody else does. And we're gonna do some awards for specifically for black quarterbacks, and then we'll contrast and compare at the end of the season how they ranked against their counterparts. So, you know, we're gonna get at it, right, Squeeze? What's going on,
That's
man?
what. That's right. That's what we're gonna do.
Right. So, and like I said, in the beginning we was just practicing, and right now the gloves are off. People, it's about to get real. So we might drop an F-bomb from now and then because this ain't made for kids, all right? So let's just get into it. I'm watching a lot of TV this week and the whole preseason talking about all the quarterbacks and so forth and so on. And like I talked about last week, we get into where we're going to flip those numbers, right? And so the top 10 quarterbacks right now, you got the usual suspects, Patrick Mahomes, and you got your list of the white guys that's in there, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. What I'm saying, once we start flipping those numbers, the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks will be black. And it's just based on the numbers, based on the draft coming up. My man talked about Caleb Williams and how he's going to be a number 1 pick whenever he decides to come out. Don't want to play for the Cardinals. We talked about that last week, and now that's been all over TV this week, right? My man Smeez talked about it, how he said he don't want to play for the Cardinals, right?
No, he don't.
He don't want to play for them.
His dad pretty much came out and made it the fact and said, "Hey, we got the option to go back to college. We ain't worried about it. If we don't like us looking at one, we got a chance to go back." And I mean, they'll have conversations with the Cardinals or possibly draft and trade and things like that. But at the end of the day, if the Cardinals don't budge, he's full go to go right back to ASU. And the key thing to it, what I didn't speak about, why it's a different time now, is with the NIL money. Like he's probably making $8-9 million just this year at USC. So, and now with the way the contracts are structured, they already know what that first round number 1 pick's gonna get. Like it's already preset, it's already written. So back in the day, you'd be losing a lot of money by not coming out. But now with that NIL, he's gonna make that money this year. Plus, if he comes back next year, he'll make that money next year. That'll be almost in those 2 years more than what he would have made had he came out after his junior year, counting those 2 years. So the mad rush to go to the pros ain't really there. And as we all know, a lot of it is team situations. A team can kill a quarterback, can absolutely kill a quarterback. So you do want to go to the right situation, right management, right team, and a team that wants to win. Unfortunately, the Cardinals just ain't been able to get it together, man. I heard an article, they making the players buy their own food in the cafeteria.
What?
Like, what type of franchise is doing that?
You gotta buy your own food.
Buy your own food.
That's all some high school bullshit.
I mean, they just got rid of where you had to buy your own practice gear during training camp.
What?
Yeah, they got rid of that probably 5-6 years ago.
Okay, although they started Joshua Dobbs, we hold that spot as the 15th quarterback start. But the Cardinals, they ain't going nowhere far, right?
No,
they ain't going nowhere far. So we out here in Phoenix. They might go from Glendale to Mesa. That ain't far, people. That ain't far. That ain't far. So, hey, you see me rocking my Kansas City, right? This is Malik Herring. And I told you, I got jerseys. Anybody named Herring, I buy these sports jerseys. I'll be looking for it. So, and I think the Chiefs going to win week 1. But anyway, just a quick thing. I was talking to my man Smeez before we started, right? The reason I love my black quarterbacks so much is because when I was growing up, and check this out, in the 60s, I know for all you young cats out there who were born in the 2000s, 60s, long time ago, right? I was young. was a little boy. You loved your favorite team's quarterback, whoever that was, right? I get it. I understand. And back in the 60s, early 70s, there was a couple of black quarterbacks. They weren't starting. It was nothing like it is today. So I rooted for Roger Staubach and the Dallas Cowboys. Like, Roger Staubach was my daddy. Okay? I love the Cowboys. And so,
Still do.
he still do. They ain't got a black quarterback. Hey. So, but as I got older and more black quarterbacks came to the league, and I guarantee you, every young black kid back there was saying, well, Daddy, why ain't no black quarterbacks in the league? His son, there are. They're just not playing. And now they are playing. So as an older man, I feel like I'm going to root for all these young black cats out there. I don't care what team they play for. I don't have a favorite team. Cowboys just happen to have a black quarterback. So I root for them as well. I root for all the quarterbacks. I just focus on the black. I root for them a little more. Anyway, if I hadn't said that, but that's what it's about. That's why I started the channel. The page. And thank you for everybody that's visiting the page. We got close to 1,000 site visitors since I started the website. Only been in existence for like 2 months. It's going to keep having up-to-date information. And if you're familiar with websites like the Drudge Report, which is basically news, blackquarterbacksineffect.com is going to be a website that's cataloged a lot of black information about black quarterbacks where you can go and see. So with that said, let's want to throw some numbers out there about the Super Bowl that me and Smeez talked about. So, in the history of football, it's been 57 Super Bowls in the common era, right? Going back to Bart Starr, right? He won the first 2. So, 57 Super Bowls, check it out. It's 34 different quarterbacks. Just 34. And of the 34, 13 quarterbacks have won 36 of the 57 Super Bowls played. So that leaves only 21 other guys, right? So those guys are special, right? You can't take that away from them, that they won the Super Bowl. So all we're saying is that
21 includes like your Trent Dilfer,
right,
your Brad Johnson,
right.
You know what I mean? Kind of these quarterbacks that kind of get that one-off Super Bowl. That's included in that 21. But as he said, most of the quarterbacks are majority one, so it is hard to get there. This is just kind of follow-up of that last week conversation we had in regards to that quarterback getting there that first time and losing. Will they get back? As you can see, it's hard to get back.
And Jeff Hostetler with the Giants.
Yeah, Hostetler.
So there's some names that people probably won't remember.
Joe Flacco, my man, Joe Flacco.
So, and people think it's easy. It ain't easy. That's all I'm saying. So whoever wins the Super Bowl this year is well deserved. Okay. With that being said, we're going to get into picks and talk about awards and things of that nature. So, you can start it off, man.
To lead it off, we're going to start off with the division winners. So, we'll start with the AFC. These are my predictions for the division winners for the AFC conference. I feel like the conference in the AFC East will be the Dolphins. That's my prediction. Dolphins in the AFC East. The AFC South, I like the Jaguars. The AFC West, I like the Chiefs. And the AFC North, I like the Ravens. Those are my 4 division winners. Right. And just as a side note, I do think the AFC North gets 3 teams in the playoffs this year.
Okay. I do got 3 picks, but only 2 gonna make it. But okay, we kind of similar. But in the East, AFC, I got the Jets, because if the Jets don't win it, what's the purpose of Aaron Rodgers? I'm just talking about all the quarterbacks as we go through this, okay? So everybody understand. Because like I told you last week, they making Aaron Rodgers Jesus, okay, for the white quarterbacks. Because if you haven't noticed, week 1, there's only 1 Monday night game. But for the past 6, 7, 8 years, there's been 2 Monday night games. If you notice, week 2, there's 2 Monday night games. Why is that? They want Aaron Rodgers on front stage, right, front and center. So to me, if the Jets don't win, it's a failure. Their defensive player came out and said they're going to have a historic defense. He said they're going to be like the 85 Chicago Bears. And for all you people that wasn't born in 85, go back and research and look at the Bears. I tried to find a picture. There's this picture of the 85 Bears when they played the Cowboys. I forget who the quarterback was. But there's like 8 Bears on the quarterback sacking him. And they got this overhead picture. And it's like you can see all the Bear players and the Cowboy quarterbacks in the middle like this. And they just used to brutalize teams. So if you've ever, go back and look. The Jets with the rules today, your defense cannot just be that good because you can't hit the players the way you could back then. You definitely can't hit the quarterback. Anyway, Jets in the East. I got the Ravens in the North. Jaguars in the South because they say that quarterback for the Jaguars is the next best thing to whoever, and the Chiefs, who actually have the best quarterback right now. So, those are my picks.
What do you got for the AFC, NFC?
NFC, I'm going with Jalen and the Eagles because in the NFC East, I was going back and forth with people earlier about the NFC East, right? Somebody was arguing about the Washington Commanders. And I'm like, y'all quarterback is the fourth best quarterback in the division. I was like, no, he's not. I was like, he ain't better than Jalen. He ain't better than Dak. He ain't better than Danny Dimes, right? Is he better than Danny Dimes?
Not right now.
Not right now. So
he doesn't have a track record. He
right,
preseason.
Right. So how I'm like, that East, I'm going with the Eagles. And in the North, it's a shocker. Most people ain't picking the Packers, but I think Jordan Love gonna play much better than what people are gonna give him credit for. I've been hearing the talk about Jordan Love, man, and it's crazy. It's all over the spectrum. I know we ain't got a full season of him yet. But I just think it's just a feeling that I have. I could be wrong. I think he's gonna play a lot better than people realize. In the Packers, I picked the Packers. I got the Falcons in the South. I think Bijan Robinson is gonna help out Desmond Ridder, and I know my man Smeez like a different team in the South. We're gonna talk about them, but I think that running game. And they say Bijan Robinson is like that X-Bot. You hit, and he can do everything, right? You know, so I don't know.
They got him out of the slot. They got him at the flanker, at the one.
Right.
They got him all over.
So I think that's going to help Ritter out a lot. So we're going to see. And then in the West, I'm going with the Seahawks. I'm going with Geno. And I like telling the story about Geno. Anytime you get punched in the jaw and your jaw broken by one of your linebackers because you didn't pay a bet, you still remain in the NFL. Probably was hard as hell to call plays with a clenched jaw. I don't know how he did it, but he come out and he's in the NFL and he's balling out now. So I'm going with Geno. I had his jersey on last week from the Jets, right? So I'm going with Geno in the West. There you go.
For me, with the NFC, starting off with the East, I'm with Al. I kind of like Philly. I think they'll repeat. I mean, Dallas has a shot, but I'm not sold on Dak being able to win those big games when they need to. So I'm going to go with, again, Philadelphia in the East. In the Central or the North, I'm going with the Lions. I think the Lions will take that division. I think the defense will be much more improved this year. Offense has already showed what they can do. They got weapons. They got space. They got a running back Gibbs. You know what I mean? So they got a lot of pieces offensively. And they proved that they can play in shootouts and win shootouts. So for me, I like how the Lions finished. I think they carry that momentum, and they carry that to a division winner. In the South, my team, which surprisingly hasn't been getting a lot of pub, I like the Saints. The Saints have a good defense, formidable defense. They got weapons all over the field. And at this point, Derek Carr, not that Derek Carr is the savior, but he's got to be an upgrade over what they had at quarterback last year. So I feel like the Saints, and that's probably going to be the worst division in football.
Yeah.
Probably the worst division in football. So I like the Saints.
And they got to come back in James.
They got that famous Jameis. You know what I'm saying? Famous Jameis. And then for the West, this was a tough one. I can see why Al took the Seahawks. I do like the Seahawks, the young team, but I mean, it's just hard to go against the 49ers. My projection is the 49ers to win the NFC West.
He speaks highly of the 49ers, people.
Now, with the Niners, just keep in mind, last 3 years, they made 3 division championships, 1 Super Bowl. Like, it's almost like they're the team to beat. Now, granted, they've lost twice in the NFC Championship. Last year doesn't even really count. They lost all their quarterbacks by middle of the first quarter. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a
wash. A whole new rule, huh?
Yeah, created a whole new rule in the NFL. Now you can carry that third quarterback.
You know, we're going to see about them in week 1 when they go into Pittsburgh.
That's going to be a true test right there.
I'm just going to put it out there. If I dye my beard, y'all see me, I look a little bit like Mike Tomlin. That's why I like Pittsburgh. I always like my young brother, Mike Tomlin. I don't look like him much now. I'm getting older.
Now, my favorite part here is the yearly awards. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go over a few different things, kind of what we think.
Did we get a wild card?
No, we didn't do the wild cards.
Okay.
Just the division winners.
Okay.
Just division winners.
All right. And we got our awards. Okay.
So
We want to do some awards for now black quarterbacks. So we're gonna go at the end of the year. We're gonna look how they compare to the whole field. But it's just for black quarterbacks. Okay. This is a black quarterback forum. People, what you expect?
yeah,
So,
exactly.
Come on now.
So the first thing we have is what quarterback's going to throw the most touchdowns. My prediction is Lamar Jackson. I think with that offense, short passes, explosive players, I feel like, and you got to keep in mind that MVP season, Lamar had almost 50 touchdowns.
See?
And that Lamar has the most touchdowns of 95 touchdowns of any quarterback that hasn't made the Super
I know
Bowl.
you know the stats, bro. I know you know.
Lamar Jackson has the most touchdowns. And I feel like this is going to be a good year for Lamar Jackson with the air raid, semi-air raid, not full air raid, but semi-air raid offense that they're going to be playing there in Baltimore.
If anybody can dethrone Patrick, I hope it's Lamar, people. Telling you. They taught us to sport that purple vape. I can't wait to wear that.
Who you got for most touchdowns?
I'm going with Gino, just because I think they're just going to be in the shootout. I mean, he had 2,000-yard receivers last year. You know, I just think they're just going to be throwing it around. I think their running game is there with that cat. I don't know his name.
Walker?
Yeah, number 9.
Walker, yeah.
Number 9. And I just think they're just going to be throwing it around. And Gino, he had some pretty good numbers last year. I think Gino has taken advantage of the opportunity now. And, like, I'm going to do everything I can to shine. I'm just saying, he's been in the league, been through some rough times. So I'm just going with Gino. I know it's going out there, but hey, we'll see. Really got most yards.
Most yards. This is going to be a surprise. I'm taking Tua with the most yards. Kind of the same thought process that Al had with the 2,000-yard receivers with Waddle and with Hill. I just feel like, you know, if he can stay healthy, again, a big thing with Tua is if he can stay healthy and survive all 17 games. But I think if he does survive all 17 games, I think he ultimately throws for the most yards.
Yeah, they definitely got the track team. I'm just going to say Mahomes on that one. You know, they're going to throw it a lot. Andy Reid loves throwing it, but he does run too. But so the next one will be most INTs. I think we both went with a rookie Stroud.
We did.
Yeah, the rookie's going to struggle. I mean, come on. Ain't no rookie in the history of football went out there and lit up the league and just went and won more games than they lost and had more touchdown passes and interceptions. Or that number is almost equal with a lot of rookie quarterbacks, you know. So we know they're going to struggle, people. They're going to struggle mightily.
The one off in the most interceptions, for me, I was torn between Stroud and Dak. Because Dak threw a lot of interceptions last year, and that was with the great offensive coordinator. Now we're going back to the head coach calling plays. Is he going to put Dak in the best situations? And we can see his judgment sometimes is suspect already. With the good coach, with the good weapons, you're still throwing a lot of interceptions. And through training camp, he has been throwing a lot of interceptions in training camp too. So I kind of wanted to go Dak, but I feel like Stroud, just the schedule, like I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out and throws 3 interceptions on Sunday. Like,
you bring up a good point about Dak. I watch a lot of football shows, people, all week long, prepare just to talk about football. And my man who watches a lot of film mentioned something similar you just said about Dak. Early on in Dak's career, before that injury, he was running around a lot.
Yeah.
But now he said Dak is just your typical pocket passer.
Yeah.
But he needs the protection and he needs time. And he was saying Dak hasn't risen in the biggest of moments.
Yeah.
And he does make that mistake. Like so. But Smeez knows, man. Y'all need to start listening. He knows football. I be wondering how he knows all this. They don't have sources. And you know people per my source in the building. They never name right. He is so they never name the damn source, people. I'm tired of hearing these anonymous sources and stuff. All right, what we got? Best overall season? I'm saying Lamar. I'm just, you know, he's healthy. I love Lamar Jackson, people, from when he was at Louisville. For I told Smeez, and I can go back and find the Facebook post. I said, y'all got y'all next Superman. So he done put on the cape, and hopefully Superman got Batman, Robin, Iron Man, and everybody else there with him this year. So he ain't got to do it all. So
for me, I'm in the same boat. I feel like the best overall season, MVP, best season, I think again is going to go to Lamar Jackson. One, he's proved that he can have an MVP season without the talent that he has now. Now you have a better offensive coordinator, better pieces around you. You know what I mean? The Ravens have pretty much won the division every year. Lamar Jackson's been healthy. So I feel like he's healthy for this season. I honestly feel like he could have came back and played last season, but it wasn't worth the risk. So I feel like Lamar Jackson will have the best season of all the quarterbacks.
next we have most wins, and how can you say this guy is gonna have most wins, but he's gonna have the best overall? I just say Mahomes, and until somebody beats the Chiefs, with 17 games, they're gonna win about 13, 14 games, maybe 15. Who knows? Until you beat them on the field. One thing I talk to Smeez about a lot is they talk NFL. They love stats, right? Biggest stats, that dub, right? And all these other stats, how they placing all these people close to the Chiefs to beat them. Starting tomorrow night with the Lions, and if they slay the Lions, you better believe I'm gonna have an interjected video in there post game. So I'm just saying, most wins, Mahomes, man.
To me, I feel like this is the season. Again, you may think I'm a homer. If you don't know already, Baltimore is my team. When they traded up to get Lamar Jackson, when they traded to that 31st pick, I fell to my knees and knew our future was changed. It was different. We were going to be in position. Not that the Ravens aren't always in position to compete for a Super Bowl. They're the most winningest team since 2000 in all of football. Even with the Patriots, even with everybody else, they're the most winningest team in football. You can check it up. You don't believe it.
I know you're probably questioning, but trust me, I stopped questioning.
Like they have the best winning percentage, most wins year after year after year. They're right there, and I knew Jackson was that extra And now with the offensive coordinator, and the reason why I go with Jackson with the most wins is honestly I feel like Baltimore takes the number one seed in the AFC. So in order to take the number one seed, you're gonna have to have the most wins.
True that. I can't argue. I love Lamar. See anybody that unsee Patrick is Lamar, baby? Yes, I love it. I love it. So for me, what's that? September 10th, is it? That first Sunday with all the games. So I don't know if you got YouTube TV. They keep showing me all these games that they're gonna have on TV.
Yeah.
You got YouTube?
I seen it. Yeah.
I'm like, all those games free? Is it gonna be free?
You pay for it. It's basically like the NFL
Right,
Network. Direct
I'm
TV
like,
now. Sunday too.
I'll probably visit somebody from time to time, but shit, I'm gonna have 3, 4 TVs on my laptop. I'm like, shit, it's like Christmas. I'm like, black quarterback here, black quarterback there. I mean, so
Black quarterback everywhere.
right, I cannot wait, people. And then speaking of that, we're gonna make history, right? They don't ever talk about 15 black quarterbacks on start. Because like I said, Joshua Dobbs with the Cardinals. Whatever it's worth, he's number 15. Actually, he is the 15th on the list. He is the 15th. So, all right. I think the last one, we want to do best rookie or two blacks?
Let's do best rookie.
Best rookie, I think it's going to be Bryce Young. I think he's the most cerebral. I think if Carolina can block for him, I mean, he can do the drop backs and he can read. He looked like he can read defenses quicker than any of the rookies to me. So I'm just saying, watching the preseason, but they couldn't block for him. So the kid had half a second. He's running for his life. And he ain't the biggest of scout. He ain't like 6'2", 215. He's 5'11", 180. My size, right? At the most. So if they can block for him, I think he'll be okay.
For me, I think the best rookie, as I kind of alluded to last week, I think when all the dust settles, the best rookie, I think, is going to be Richardson with the Colts. I could just see the changes in what you needed to correct from week to week in his play. More than I could see in Bryce Young, more than I could see in C.J. Stroud. All of them got team issues and team problems. None of those three teams are really projected to do anything or go anywhere. But I just feel like the adaptation and the ability to make a play on the fly, Richardson has that. And he has that ability to use his legs too. Not that we want that all the time, but I feel like he has the ability to use his legs, and I think he's just improved week over week over week. Again, he came in, he wasn't even projected to start, or Stroud didn't take the starting position till 3 days ago. Richardson, after 3 days of practice, he's the starter. And the Colts have a formidable quarterback. Not that it's a world mover, but they do have a formidable quarterback on the roster, where Houston doesn't have a formidable quarterback on the roster, nor does Carolina. So those two quarterbacks came in automatically number one quarterback. And as they show, we're going to see what they do with it. But my pick would be Anthony Richardson for the Colts. I feel when the dust settles, is going to have the best rookie quarterback season.
We're going to go back and review the film, people. So there you have it. One last one. We said 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl again. We both said no. I mean, maybe one. But
I think you'll get one for sure. And it'll be from the AFC. But the NFC, I mean, you talking, does Jalen Hurts get back again? Which we all know that's very hard to do, to get back again. And then really the next one would have to be Dak. And it's a matter of, did Dak now get over that hump and get the Cowboys to the promised land?
Everybody just put Dak up there.
And I mean, Geno could be a dark horse. Geno could be a dark horse too.
See, we talked about the brainwashing people. They want Dak. I mean, Dak has got more love as a black quarterback.
Honestly, I think Geno probably has a better shot than Dak to get to the Super Bowl.
Dak has got more love as a black quarterback for not winning anything outside of Russell Wilson lately, right? I mean, Dak's still on commercials, and Dak ain't even won a conference championship. So Dak has got love, people. And, Jerry Jones. We talk about how Jerry Jones is a salesman, right? He the hype machine. We're going to win the Super Bowl this year, people. We're going to win.
Every year.
We're going to win. Yeah, so, I mean, it's fun. We love it. So that's about it, people. Anything else you want to get out of about?
That's for the most part. Just who do you think going to be in the Super Bowl?
Patrick Mahomes. Unless he's unseated by Lamar Jackson. From the West and then from the East. Man, until somebody, they say the Eagles can't get back there, but, until somebody beats them, will it be a repeat? Nobody wants to see a repeat, right? People hate repeats. To me, at this point, until somebody beat those two teams, I know it might fall off a little bit for the Eagles, but once again, here we go to Dak. Is Dak going to rise up? Is Kirk Cousins? Throw the name out there. The Lions, Jared Goff. And, I looked at the quarterback list, right? And it's crazy, man. Y'all should just look at it, where they have some of these people charged. After the top 4 or 5, right, we got Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and then they put Jalen somewhere in between 1 and 4. Lamar comes in at 5 or 6. So the top 5 or 6 are in the AFC outside of Jalen.
Yeah.
But then they had Dak in the top 10, which I still can't understand how Dak is in the top 10. That's what I mean about the hype machine, right?
Yeah.
How is Dak in the top 10? I went over how Dak ain't even in the top 4 in the NFC based on just winning, getting to the conference level, right? Y'all remember that? Probably not. But I detail, to me, it's hype with Dak. People still pick him because he's hyped.
Yeah.
That's it.
Every year is the Cowboys' year.
Yeah, every year. And that's how, as a fan, you believe that hype. That's why I'm saying your vision is stunted, because you believe your team going to do it. And I get it. You hate the other team's quarterback. So anyway, we're going to be getting at you all week, all year. It's going to be fun week to week. You know how the things change. You have Overreaction Monday, and everybody's changing their tunes. So it's going to be a fun season, people. The most black quarterbacks ever, 15.
My Super Bowl projection, Ravens and Saints.
Okay.
Is in my Super Bowl projection.
I know I'm kind of vanilla with mine, but hey, till somebody beats those teams.
Hey, I'd rather be right.
You'd rather be right. All right.
All right, fellas. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe. Make sure you thumbs up, post, share, spread the word.
Right.
Any love y'all can give, greatly appreciated. You know what I mean? Tune in next week. Next week, like we said, it'll be a full go. Week 1, we'll have full stats of all the quarterbacks, all the information, and it's going to be a live and interesting season this year.
Yes, it will be.
Go Ravens.
Yep, we'll get at you.